Why you got condoms in your drawer? First, you know who you having sex with, and I ain't here. Second of all, we ain't using nothing, so why you got condoms? And he's like, that's my roommate's condoms. I'm like, that's your roommate condoms? That's in your drawer, huh? In your drawer. He was like, yeah, because it's the top drawer. If he need them, he just grab them. Instead of putting them in the other drawer, he just put them in, giving me that. I'm like, oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about, babe? Yeah. Now it's time for me.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So yeah, I told y'all in the other story that I was going to give y'all the story time about me getting cheated on in North Carolina. So this is the story time about when I got cheated on. So if you don't have your snack, you don't have your drink, and you don't have your herbal essence, you need to go get it. Go get it. I'm still drinking red wine. I'm still drinking it. And if you're new here, I ain't even say that, you know, thank you so much for clicking on the video. Also, if you're not new, thank you so much for returning. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe, like, comment, leave comments. I always reply back to your comments. Also, we're on the road to 2K. So if you haven't subscribed, or if you know somebody that might like my videos, could you please pass it along? Pass it along. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Yeah, and without further ado, let's get into the video already. Yeah, let's move on, because I know y'all want to know the story. Period. So this is a story of when I got cheated on, and I found out all the way in North Carolina. So this is a story time of me being a detective. So let's just run down this. I was getting cheated on a lot. I was getting cheated on a lot, but I also was trying to be, I was like, I didn't believe it unless I had proof. So I was one of them people that I need to see, I need the proof, I need to know if it's happening.
Bitch, are you dumb?
Pardon me?
Are you dumb?
I think she's dumb.
I think she's dumb.
I think she's dumb.
I think
Are
you're
you,
dumb.
like, medically speaking, are you, I think she's dumb.
I think she's dumb.
I think she's dumb.
So I told you he was in North Carolina, right? He was in North Carolina, and he was in the military. I would go up there and I would go see him a lot. I would go and do all this, whatever. I would go see him or whatever. So this time I went or whatever. This was my first or second time. I don't know. It was one of them. It was like really early on with me going up there. And when I went up there, this was my second time. No, because my first time I went, I was getting all of these, like his, the people that's above him. I don't want to say the wrong names because I just don't. They were all like, oh, she's prettier than the other girl, like making comments like that. And I was like, what other girl? Like, you know, I'm keeping mental notes. Like, what? I always do that. Like, you say something to me or you say something around me, I'm listening. So I'm just like, why are they saying that or whatever? So I was left up in his room. This was the first time. No, this isn't the time. This is the first time. So the first time I was left in his room, he had his computer like up. So his computer was up. So I click on the computer and I see that he's still logged on. This is MySpace days. Click on the computer. I see he's still logged on to MySpace. So I go to get and looking through, click. Let me see the messages. So I see he talking to this girl, and he talks to this girl a whole lot. And they talking about whatever, you know, all that stuff. I'm gonna see you, this, that, and the other, like the whole thing. So of course, I leave it up because I want him to see that I seen it. So I left it up or whatever. And he come back or whatever to his barrack or whatever. And he's just like going through the thing or whatever. And I'm just being like super like nonchalant. Like, I'm not really all up on him like I usually be all up on you. So he's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, nothing. And so computer on. He's like, did you go through my, you went through my MySpace? And I was like, yeah. And I seen all the messages. And then he was like, oh, let me explain. It's just, you know, sometimes I be bored, You know, I don't have nobody to talk to. You talk to me, what are you talking about? It's like, sometimes I can't get in touch with you because you be working or whatever. So I just be on here just, you know, playing or whatever. You know, I ain't that serious. I don't want these people. I don't want this girl, And I'm like, okay. Another thing I had noticed, his phone would ring a lot and he would never answer the phone. And I used to tell him, why you don't answer the phone? He was like, oh, ain't nobody. It's just my friend. Da da da. Ain't nobody. There ain't nobody. There ain't nobody. And I never went through the phone. So I go back home, you know, and I was just like, you know, guys are kind of simple. I'm not calling them dumb. I'm just saying simple. When I say simple, back in those times, you could easily break into somebody's voicemail and check their voicemail, because everybody had a voicemail. This is a time when your voicemail had, like, you would say, like, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Drop a comment if you know what I'm talking about. You be on the phone, you had a music playing in the background, and you talking, this is so-and-so, the music playing. You might have you on some slow jam or some rap or whatever. You gonna have something on, leave a message, you know that. Okay, he had something like that. So I go and I get on my phone. Detective Joe, y'all. I went and I'm like, okay, I know his password ain't nothing hard. It ain't nothing hard. I know it's something I know. So I'm like, I'm about to see if I can break it. So first try, punch in the 4 little digits and it opens. I listen to the voicemail. It's a girl. It's a few girls. No, why you not answering the phone? Da 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 da. Like saying that because he ain't check his voicemail. So I'm going through the whole thing, listening. I'm like, okay, he out here just doing what he want to do. So I'm like, in my mind, I was just like, should I just do me? Or should I just confront him and then break up with him? Like, or do I want to stay? Like, I had three things going through my mind. Like, do you want to do you? Or do you want to go out here and just be, you know, like, what you gonna do? So I was like, I'm gonna confront him. I'm gonna ask him about it. So I asked him about it. And then he gave me the same little rundown. You know, ain't nobody, you know, I be bored, da da da. Sometimes I can't talk to you. I just talk to them, whatever. But ain't nothing serious, ain't nothing like that. You know, I'm with you, da 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 da. Okay. I'm not believing it. I just like, he lying. I don't even know why he lying, but okay, it's cool. I go back up there. I go up there, right? And this time when I go up there, it's like he more like serious about me. And not to say that he wasn't serious before, but he was playing a lot of these little stupid games. And like I said, and we was probably like, I wasn't old enough. I was probably like 20. Okay, I go up there, right? I go up there and I meet everybody, you know, the new people, whatever. And they make the, you know, they say the little stuff about the girl, whatever. And then I asked one of them, I'm like, what girl? Like, cause he was off doing something. So I'm like, what girl is y'all always talking about? Who is this girl? They're like, oh, he had a girl and he came up here. Like, a girl came up here and they was, you know, he was talking to this one girl and we met her or whatever. But he was like, they were like, she not as pretty as you. Like, you look way better than she looked. And they was like saying all this stuff or whatever. And I'm like, what? How's he with somebody? He with me? Like, I'm confused. Like, what is going on? So I put it in the back of my mind, but I was like, I'm not going to let this. So I'm there for 10 days, 10 whole days. And I just put it in the back of my mind, but I didn't say nothing about it. Cause I was like, I don't want to ruin the trip. Cause if I say something, I know we going to get to arguing or whatever. And I don't want to, I'm here, I'm not leaving. So I'm like, I don't want to be fighting or whatever. So I just left it in the back of my mind. Talking, he showing everybody, we hanging out with all his friends, go to the beach. We leave to go to Virginia. We do all this stuff. We driving everywhere. We doing a whole bunch of stuff. We going out. We hanging out. We just having a good time. Go to the bars. Because them little small towns, they ain't had no clubs. They had like little bars or whatever. So we go to little bars, whatever. We have fun. But something, I know, y'all know we got this thing called an intuition and discernment. Something in my mind was like, now, every day that I was there, I never, ever paid attention to this drawer. I never forget this. I never paid attention to this drawer. Now, we ain't use no protection ever. Ever. So, and this was his drawer. So I'm like, this is the last day. The last day I'm there. I'm about to leave and go to the airport when he come back. He at work. When he come back, I'm leaving. So this day, I was just sitting in the thing and I was just thinking about everything that I kept hearing, and his phone was still doing the same thing. Phone ringing, he don't want to pick up the phone. Phone getting blown up. Wouldn't answer the phone. Now, I'm not the type of person where I'm gonna be pressing you to answer your phone. Like, you know your phone ringing, answer your phone. But you don't want to answer it. You definitely doing something. But it's cool. So I was like, I'm gonna find out what he doing. I'm gonna find out. So I opened the drawer because it just kept in my mind, like, open the drawer, open the drawer. It's loud. Open the drawer, open the drawer, open the drawer. I open the drawer. First thing I see, condoms, a lot of them.
What? Bro, what?
Next thing I see, this big giant book. Now, this book was a book that he was writing stuff and they were giving it to each other back and forth, him and the girl. She would write like stuff, oh, how much I love you. You mean so much to me. Da 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 da. This song reminds me of you. I can't wait to come back and see you. He ended up saying the same thing back to her. I love you. I miss you. I can't wait to see you. I'm gonna help you take care of your daughter, because the girl had a daughter. I'll help you take care of your daughter. Did you like what I gave you? Now, I'm reading all of this and instantly I start getting hot. I was something serious back then, y'all. I would pop shit. Like, I wouldn't hit you, but you would want to hit me off this mouth, because I pop shit. I'm this mouth deadly. Like, I'm popping. You gonna want to fight, because you gonna want to fight. I didn't fight though, but you would want to, because I'm gonna talk all type of, I'm gonna say all vicious. So I'm like, I'm getting mad. I'm starting to cry. Tears was flowing down my face. I'm reading it. I'm thinking that he's saying stuff about me. No, he's talking about her. Like, it's pictures upon pictures upon pictures upon pictures. Pictures. Him, her, the kid, the dog. He bought the girl a dog. It's pictures upon pictures upon pictures. It's a lot. I was mad. Oh, I was so, I'm a person, like, you can read my face. I mean, y'all see, I've been making all these facial expressions, but when I'm there, like, you gonna know, oh, she ain't happy today, or something going on with her today, or something. You gonna read it on my face. I couldn't hide the way I was feeling. So what I did was, I took the book, right? And I was like, I'm gonna take this book back with me to Texas. I'm about to take this book back so I'm gonna read everything. Because if I tell him that I got this book, he gonna take it from me. And I ain't gonna be able to take it back with me. We gonna be in here fighting because I want this book. So I ripped a few pages and I also took some pictures and I put them in one part of the suitcase. And then I took the whole book and I put the whole book in the suitcase. So he comes right back, right? And normally I'd be like, you know, when you don't want to leave somebody, you just be like, oh, babe, I don't want to leave you. I'm sad. I don't want to leave. I don't want to go. I miss you. Da, da, da. You get all on that type of time, right? I wasn't on that type of time. I was just laying in the bed and I'm just looking straight up like I'm hot. Because it was taking everything in me to not say nothing. Because I'm like, I don't want to say nothing. Because if I say something right now, he going to take the book. I can't say nothing. I got to be quiet. I can't say nothing. He was just like, what's wrong with you? What's the matter? What's wrong? Like, you sad because you got to go home or whatever? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, and he over there trying to hug me and stuff. And I don't want him hugging me. But I was acting like that. Like, I didn't want him touching me. Like, I didn't want you to get off me. So I was just like, get off me. Like, I don't feel like hugging or whatever. And he's just like, what's wrong with you? Like, he jumped up and was like, what's the matter with you? What's wrong? Like, you just was on the phone talking to me not too long ago and you was sad about leaving. Now what's the matter? What's wrong? Like, what happened? And I'm like, nothing happened. And he's like, yes, something happened, because he knew me. He's like, something happened. Like, what's the matter with you? So I'm like, nothing happened. I'm like, who be calling your phone? Can't hold it, bruh. I'm like, who be calling your phone like that? Why your phone keep ringing like that? He's like, I told you there ain't nobody, there ain't nothing. I'm like, why you never answer it? Because one time that when I was down there that whole 10 days or whatever, his phone was ringing, right? And I had his cell phone. So I picked the phone up and I answered, and it was a girl. It wasn't the girl who he had the dog stuff with. This was a different girl. And she just was telling me, like, cause she talked to him, and I'm like, no. I'm like, who is this? I'm like, this is his girlfriend. Who is this? Why are you calling him? And she was like, girlfriend. Like, she started laughing in my ear and stuff. And I'm like, what girlfriend? Like, she's like, he don't have no girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, he do. I'm on the phone talking to you. Like, this is girlfriend or whatever. And she's just like, telling me all this stuff. How you got a girlfriend? He talks to me every night and da-da-da-da. And it do make sense. Like, if you talking to him every night, like, how you got a girlfriend? How you got this? How you doing all this? And he talking to me or whatever. So I'm just like, I confronted him about that when that happened. And he told me the same old thing, whatever. There ain't nobody. And I was just like, whatever. Call me naive, call me whatever, call me gullible. I wasn't gullible. I knew he was doing stuff. I knew. I just didn't have proof. Like I told you, I'm a person I need to know. That was proof. Yeah, she on the phone telling me whatever. Okay. I end up asking him about the condoms in the drawer. I'm like, why you got condoms in your drawer? First, you know who you having sex with, and I ain't here. Second of all, we ain't using nothing, so why you got condoms? And he's like, that's my roommate's condoms. I'm like, that's your roommate condoms? That's in your drawer, huh? In your drawer. He was like, yeah, because it's the top drawer. If he need them, he just grab them. Instead of putting them in the other drawer, he just put them in, giving me that. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, I guess it clicked in his brain like, oh shit, the top drawer. If she's seen condoms, she probably seen the other stuff. So he opens the drawer up and doesn't see the book. So he just asked me, he's like, what you do with it? And I'm like, do what? He's like, it was a book in there. What you do with that book that was in there? And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And he was like, Joelaunda, I know you know what I'm talking about. It was a book in there. And I'm like, this nigga pressed off this book. You heavy pressed. He's like, I know you. I know you have it. So I'm like, I don't have it. And then he was like, I know you're lying. I'm like, I threw it away. He's like, you're lying. You did not throw it away. He's like, show me, where'd you throw it at? He's like, tell me, where'd you throw it? And I'm like, at the dumpster outside. He's like, what dumpster? I'm like, do it matter what dumpster? I threw it in the dumpster. Like, it's outside. It's outside. So he's like, you're lying. You're lying. I know you. You're lying. You have that book. I know how you are. You have that book. And I'm like, I don't. So he went and got my suitcase, bust that thing open, and was digging around. It was a big book. You can't really hide it. So he was digging around and he found the book, and we started tussling for that book. I jumped up and I tried to yank the book out of his hand. I was yanking the book and he was like, no, because you don't need to be reading this. And I'm like, who is she? I know her name. Her name was all through the book. So I kept screaming the girl name. I'm like, who is so-and-so? And why are you telling her you love her and this and that? And I'm like, what is, like, I'm going crazy on him. Like, I'm talking about, and this is a big, strong man. This ain't no little weakling. This a strong man. He in the service, and he trained to kill. Like this he could have easily just knocked my head off and be like, sit down somewhere. He ain't do that, but I'm just saying, like, we was tussling for that book. Like, I wasn't letting up. I was strong arming that thing. I'm like, no, you gonna let me take this book? I said, so I could read it and see. He was like, no, I'm not letting you do that. No. So he took a book and he started ripping that thing. Like, you ever seen the people that rip them? I know y'all seen this before. People that take them the yellow pages and rip that shit in half. Damn near that's what he did. He took the thing and he ripped the pages out, and he was ripping the pages, ripping up the thing, and it had pictures in it. So he taking the pictures and he ripping the pictures up, and he's like, I'm about to throw it in the dumpster. And he's like, you gonna get me in trouble? Cause we in here, like, we arguing, we fighting, and we tussling for the book. And he just was like, you gonna get me in trouble? I'm gonna get in trouble because you're not supposed to be up in here, all of this stuff. And I'm like, I was like, just take me to the airport. I'm like, just take me. Like, take me. And I started crying. I was upset. I was mad. And he just was like, baby, please. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, she don't mean nothing. I'm like, who is she? Like, she means something. You in here talking about you love her. Y'all talking about the same music y'all like and will remind y'all of each other and this and that. He started telling me, like, she don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. I don't have nothing. So let me tell y'all this. I had the girl number. I had the girl phone number. But I was like, I ain't going to tell him I got her number because I'm going to call her. And I'm going to find out. I'll find out what's going on because he lied. So I'm like, y'all, you got the girl a dog. You know, you talking about taking care of her daughter. Like, what you got going on? What is you on? What is you on? Like, so he just like, that ain't nothing. Like, I'm sorry. He just kept telling me, I'm sorry. Like, don't break up with me. Like, I'm sorry. It don't mean nothing. Like telling me, because I'm like, it's done. I'm over. I'm not doing this with you. I can't even trust you. I'm way in Texas. You way up here. And I'm like, you ain't even got that much longer. I'm like, but if this is something you plan on doing for the rest of your life, like you want to continue to do this, I'm not going to be with you unless I live here. If I'm not living here with you, I'm not trying to do this with you. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, you going to have me in Texas going crazy. Like, I'm finna go psycho because I can't get to you because I'm all the way out here. I ain't putting myself through that stuff. I'm not doing that. Like, I did that before. Like, I'm not doing that again. And that we were in the same city and you got me going crazy. I'm pulling up on people, doing all this wild, crazy stuff. I'm like, I ain't doing that. So, and I did pull up on people when he was living here. I used to get into it with a lot of girls because of the things that he was doing. So I'm like, I ain't about to do that. So he's just like, oh, I ain't trying to do that. I ain't trying to do that. That ain't what I'm trying to do. I ain't on that. I'm trying to be with you. I only want to be with you, And I'm like, well, we talk about it later. Like, just take me to the airport. So I go to the airport or whatever. And he kept telling me, like, I love you. I want to be with you. I ain't trying to do that. I ain't on that or whatever. So I'm like, why would you have me come here, make me look dumb? You got these people over here telling me, like, I look better than her and all of this. And you had a whole girl that was here. And then he was like, I'm going to tell you about it. I'll tell you about it later. Right now, we don't need to talk about it because you like, you already crying and upset. No, I don't want you upset. Like, we'll talk about it later. It's like, we'll talk about it later. It's like, I don't want you upset. I don't want you crying about it or whatever. So, okay. We get home. And I called him. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, what happened? Like, tell me how you meet her, whatever. So he was like, so when I was in Virginia, he's like, I had to be in this class for a few weeks. And he's like, I met her in the class. He was like, she's in another branch than I'm in. We're not in the same branch. He was like, and I'm not going to see her like that because she lives in Virginia and I'm in North Carolina. And I'm like, that don't stop nothing. I'm like, we drove to Virginia. That's only a few hours away. So I'm like, if you want to see her, clearly you can't. He's like, she came up here once, but really she came up there twice. But he's like, she came up here one time and we was trying to see what things would go. He's like, and I said, did y'all sleep together? And he's like, we tried and nothing happened. I tried to do it and she started crying, talking about her ex. And I'm like, yeah, she started crying, talking about her ex. Okay, yeah. So he was like, yeah, she started talking about her ex and started crying and saying she can't do it because she still love her ex or whatever. And I'm like, I'm listening to this lie. So I'm like, all right. So then he was like, I said, okay, but you talking about taking care of a kid. He's like, I know, you know how I love kids. She got a daughter and I fell in love with her daughter. I'm like, oh, okay. You fell in love with the daughter. So you like, yeah. And he's like, you know, I said, you bought dogs? And he's like, I bought her a dog for Christmas. Oh, you buying Christmas gifts. All right. So you like, yeah, I bought it for the baby, for her daughter, you know, telling me all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, so when the last time you talked to her? He's like, I haven't talked to her in a long time. I said, why your phone keep ringing? And he's like, there ain't nobody that's still on that same lie. I'm like, all right. So I'm like listening to him and I'm like, this just ain't making sense. The dots ain't connected. Like, this is off. It ain't connected. So I'm like, all right, okay. All right. You think you fooling. All right, I'm gonna find out. So I probably let like some days go by. Then I just was like, you know, I'm gonna call and find out. So I call her. I'm real cool because I'm not gonna be arguing with nobody. Especially, all I wanted to know was what he not telling me. Can you just confirm and just let me get the clarity that I need to know what's going on? I ain't no beef with you because you don't owe me nothing. You don't owe me nothing. You're not loyal to me. He is. So I'm like, and even at that age, that's what I was on. I'm still on that at the age I am now. I'll never be like coming for the girl because I don't feel like she don't owe me nothing. She not the one who said she in a relationship with me. She not the person who said that she doing this with me. You the person that said you doing this with me. So you owe me that. She don't owe me nothing. That ain't her. She don't probably even know that I exist. And if she do know I exist, then, you know, that could be handled a different way. But until then, I don't know what's going on. So I ended up calling her and I said, you know, I'm on the phone. I'm super professional. I'm like, hello, may I speak to bleep? She's like, yes, this is her. I said, you don't know me, but I just wanted to ask you a few things. I said, my name is, I told her my name. And I said, I'm, you know, Liam's girlfriend. I said, I'm just calling you to ask you a few things because some things I found out and I just want to make sure I get clarity on what's going on. You know, I'm not coming at you no sideways because I didn't come at her no sideways. Every time I was confronting him about it, of course, I'm slandering the hell out of her, but I'm not doing it to her on the phone because I want to get the information. I'm not finna, because if I fight with her, I ain't going to get no information. So I'm just like asking on the phone. I'm like, you know, I just want to know what's going on. He said that there's nothing with y'all. I just want to know. So I started to going down to like a little timeline. I'm like, he said you came to see him. And she was like, I did come see him. She was like, and I came up there with one of my friends and we stayed up there. I said, did you stay with him? She said, yes, I stayed with him. I'm like, oh, this nigga lied. So I'm like, okay, you stayed with him. She was like, yeah, I stayed with him. I said, did y'all sleep together? She was like, yes. I was like, oh, She's like, yes, we did, but we used protection, if you like to know. I said, oh, okay. And then she was like, we was trying to have a relationship together. She said we was trying to get into a relationship together, but she's like, the way our schedule is, the way we live in, it just don't seem like that's feasible. So we just friends. She was like, I said, when I was there at this time, I said, was you calling him around this time? And she said, yeah, I was calling him and I was asking him, texting him and asking him like, why he not answering? She's like, cause I talk to him every day and he wasn't answering. And I said he wasn't answering because I was there. And she was like, that makes sense. So we just started going back and forth, talking, you know, passing notes back and forth. So I asked her, I said, he said he bought you a dog. I seen the book. I read the book and she was telling me about the book. She was like, yeah, we was just, she was like, when we was in the training thing, we got to know each other because they were there for like 2 months, almost 2 months. She was like, I got to know him and I liked him. And she was like, that's how we would communicate because we couldn't really talk because we was doing a little training. She was like, so we would just write in the book and pass it to each other back and forth. She was like, that's why the book. And I said, and I seen all the pictures of you and your daughter and, you know, all of that. And she was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, and we were supposed to take a trip, but we didn't take the trip because she said, I think she had to leave or she was going, I don't know, she was going somewhere. She was like, we were going to take a trip together. We were going to go on a cruise. And I said, really? She was like, yes, we was going to take a cruise, but we ended up, she was like, he paid for it and everything. And he had to get his money back because I said he paid for it. She was like, yes. Man, I was instantly hot. Talking about my face probably turned red. I was hot. I was mad. I wanted to punch the wall. I was pissed. How the hell you going to pay for a damn trip like that and don't take me on a damn trip? And I'm your whole girl. Boy, I was hot. So it's like I was hot. So she was telling me all of that stuff. And she just was like, you know, I'm not trying to cause no problems. You know, if that's, you know, y'all together, whatever. She was like, I'm going to fall back. I ain't finna step on none of that. She was like, I ain't trying to do that. She was like, you know, I was in a relationship, you know, and I understand. She was really nice. And I was nice back to her. And she understood. She was just like, you know, I'm going to leave it alone. She was like, I said, just don't say nothing to him. I said, don't say nothing to him that I called you. Don't say nothing. I'm going to confront him on that. Don't say nothing. She was like, okay. So that was the only time I had talked to her. I ain't never called her again, never bothered her, never talked to her, had nothing else to do. I got the answers I needed and that I moved on from that. I ended up talking to him and I tell him I called her and he flipped out. Why are you calling her? Da, da, da. Like trying to flip it, turn it on me, like gaslight me. No, at the time I didn't know what gaslighting was. Now I know what it is. But at the time I didn't know that. But he was trying to turn it around on me, like trying to make me feel some type of way. Oh, you crazy, da, da, da. Why would you call her? I called her because, And I tell him, I'm like, I called her because I asked you thorough questions. This is like an interrogation. Where the light at? Put the light in the nigga face. This is an interrogation. I asked you the questions and I get bullshit. I get it. So you're not giving me what I'm asking. So I'm like, what other thing to do than to go to her and get the questions? So I'm like, you know, go to her and I get the answers that I need, and she give it to me. So I'm like, this is this and that. I said, oh, and you paying for cruises? And he's like, I was gonna pay for that cruise. We was gonna go on a cruise. I said, you was gonna go on a cruise with somebody. How you gonna do that? I talk to you every day. How you gonna do that? You gonna just tell me some crap? Oh, I'm going to what the hell they used to call it? What is it called when they be gone and they do that training in the woods and shit? I forgot what the hell that shit called. I can't remember the name of that shit, but they do that. I can't think of the name at all. But they be gone and they can't talk on the phone. They can't do nothing. I was like, oh, he gonna use that as an excuse? I can't prove that he ain't do it. So he could have told me anything. So I was like, oh, you was gonna make up some lie and do that. I said, how you want me to trust you? How do you want me to trust you? And this is going on. He's like, I don't talk to her like that no more. We just friends. I said, you can't be friends with somebody like that. You cannot be friends with somebody you slept with. I don't care what nobody say. I don't believe in that. You cannot be. If you smashed, y'all smashed, actively smashed, and you talking about let's be friends. No, ain't no friendship, because somebody gonna have some feelings. Somebody gonna try somebody, like gonna get drunk. Somebody gonna try you, or you gonna try them. Ain't no friendship. I don't believe in that. And thank God, thank the Lord that the man I'm with today, my current boyfriend, believes the same thing. Ain't no friendship with the opposite sex. Ain't none of that going on. Ain't none of that going on. Ain't none of that going on. Nah, ain't none of that. But anyway. So he was just like, oh, we friends, just talk about it. So I'm like, you gotta get that. You can't be friends no more. I was like, you can't talk to her no more. But then again, you know, I was naive because I can't control that. I can't stop you because I'm not there. We don't live together. We not there. I'm not there. I can't watch you. And who want to be with somebody that you got to constantly monitor and watch? Who want to deal with that? So to end all of that, to end this story or whatever, he still continued to talk to her all the way up until, like, I don't know if I'm gonna post this video or the next video. I don't know, part 2 of the 2 boyfriend thing or whatever. But if I post this one first, he ended up still talking to her, even though he moved back in everything. He still was talking to her here, and it was on some friend stuff, because I had seen the messages and stuff. It wasn't nothing that I needed to be mad about. I was just mad because I know that the way he was with me and Ray, he forbid me from talking to Ray. When we got together, he was like, you can't talk to him no more, but he was still talking to her. So it was crazy. Like the we don't play by the same rules shit, that was in full effect. So, but anyway, so that was the end of that story. We ended up, we still stayed together. I just didn't trust him. And when you don't trust somebody, that shit is hard to be in a relationship with somebody if you don't trust them. I don't know how people do it. I ended up trusting him eventually, but it's like he had to gain the trust. I didn't trust him out the gate. I had no trust. I didn't believe nothing. Everything he came out of his mouth. I'm the type, I can feel, sense you're lying. I don't know. I have that gift. I don't know what it is, but and that go for, especially if I'm real close with you. Like if you're my guy, my man, I could tell you full of shit. I could tell you lying. I could tell, I don't know what it is. It just, I don't know. I just be like, them motherfucker lying. That shit ain't adding up. And then eventually, you know, clarity, shit come out. Whatever you do in the dark, always come to the light. It's gonna come out. You keep on playing these little bullshit ass little games, it's gonna come to the light. And that's what had happened. Everything started falling in my lap, and I was just like, let me just find out, and then whatever I find out, I need to make the decision. Do I want to be with him and stay with this, or do I want to move on? And I had chose to stay. Yeah, call me a dummy clown, whatever. I ended up staying with him, and yeah, that's what happened. So, but listen, I feel like now that I'm a lot older, it's a lot of things that I just be like, I'm not gonna just tolerate from just anybody. I really be confronting shit at head on. So like back then too, I did the same thing. But if something ain't right, it ain't sitting right with me, I confront it. I don't wait. I don't let stuff fester. I definitely don't let him figure out what's wrong with me. Ain't none of that going on. I let you know what is going on with me. This made me feel some type of way. I don't like this. Why is you doing this? Or why is this going on? I definitely let the stuff be known. I don't let nothing sit. And that's just how I do my thing. But if you like this story and you want more stories from me, I kept y'all entertained or whatever the case is, leave a comment down below. You know, I always respond to y'all comments. I also thank y'all so much for rocking with me and subscribing to me and, you know, just taking this journey with me. I'm on the road to 2K. I didn't say it already. I'm on the road to 2K. And I thank y'all so much for the support and the love that y'all give me. I appreciate it so much. And yeah, I'm going to have y'all another story. Now, I know y'all say y'all want me to do Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to do those. But next week, I might not have a video for y'all on Thursday. I have a video for y'all on Tuesday. It's going to be a video that I already previously recorded last week. So I'm going to have that up for y'all. But Thursday, I probably won't because the weekend, I have some plans. And I'm busy Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to be in them streets. I might do like a little, like small little vlog. That might be what y'all get on Thursday. A little something slight. You know, something slight. Because I got some plans. So... yeah, leave me a comment and then I get back with y'all. But if I do the vlog, then I have some for y'all Thursday. But if y'all don't see that from me on next Thursday, not this Thursday. This Thursday, y'all got a video. But the following week, it's because I was in the streets on the weekend. But till then, guys, I see y'all. And thank you so much. Bye.